You know how sometimes you're scrolling online and you see this really thoughtful comment just vanish, while some simple insult gets all the upvotes? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're breaking down a Reddit post where just one meme kicked off this huge debate. But the most fascinating parts of the conversation, the creator's own explanations, were completely scrubbed. So today, we're going to bring those ghost comments back and figure out what on earth was so controversial that it had to be silenced. All right, so here it is, the meme that started it all. It's your classic bell curve. Way over on the left, you've got the humble novice. Way over on the right, the humble master. And both of them kind of agree that their senses are a pretty useful guide. But right there in the middle, at the absolute peak of arrogance, is the expert. This is the person who declares that what we see is objective reality, full stop, and that science proves it. And yeah, this character right here is what sparked the whole firestorm. The backlash was, let's just say, immediate. Before any real discussion could even get off the ground, comments like this one started popping up. It's just a laundry list of rhetorical buzzwords, right? There's no explanation, no actual engagement with the idea. It's just a dismissal. And the pylon just kept going. This user chimes in with another quick, snappy slogan. It's like the classic internet takedown playbook. Make it short, make it punchy, and make sure it has absolutely zero substance. And then you get this, full-on caps lock rage. But is he mad about the philosophical point? Nope, he's mad about the formatting of the meme. Apparently, the creator broke some kind of unwritten, sacred rule of meme making. And this is a perfect example of how an interesting conversation just dies, right? We're not talking about ideas anymore, we're just arguing about the rule. So, you see the backlash. It's pretty clear. But what about the person who made the meme? How did they respond? Well, this is where things get really interesting. His replies, the ones where he's actually trying to explain his point and engage with all this criticism, they were systematically deleted. So what did he say? What was so bad it had to be completely wiped from the record? Here's one of his deleted replies. It's calm, it's totally reasonable. He's just pointing out that throwing a bunch of labels at someone isn't a real argument. And yet, this is the comment that got removed, while the accusations were allowed to stay. This right here is the heart of the conflict. So why would a simple, calm clarification get censored? Well, to figure that out, we have to push past all the angry comments and actually look at what the meme was trying to say in the first place. Turns out it really wasn't about who's smart and who's not. Now, the creator actually explained his point in a comment that was, you guessed it, deleted. He said the point wasn't about intelligence. The people on the ends of the curve are actually pretty similar because they're both humble. They get that they don't know everything. The person in the middle, though, that character represents a kind of intellectual arrogance, this absolute certainty that you've got reality all figured out. Okay, now we're getting to the real juice. The controversy wasn't just about a meme. It was about the deep philosophical ideas sitting right underneath it. And when the creator tried to talk about those, his comments started disappearing. So let's take a look at the concepts that were apparently too dangerous for Reddit. A huge part of the misunderstanding comes down to two big ideas in philosophy: ontology and epistemology. Now, they sound complicated, but it's pretty simple. Ontology is the study of what is. What's the fundamental nature of reality? Epistemology is the study of how we know things. How do we measure stuff? How do we prove it? See the difference? The meme was asking an ontological question, but almost everyone was hitting back with an epistemological answer. And this deleted reply just perfectly sums up the whole problem. A user started talking about how important measurements are in their chemistry lab, which is totally fair, but the creator tried to clarify. He said, hey, I'm not attacking science or measurement at all. I'm talking about the fundamental nature of existence. That's a whole different conversation. But of course, that clarification was erased. The philosophy at the heart of all this is called conscious realism. It's an idea from a cognitive scientist named Donald Hoffman. And the basic gist is this: what we think of as physical reality, space, time, all the objects around us, it isn't the real reality. It's more like a user interface. Think about the desktop on your computer. The little blue icon for a folder isn't the actual folder full of code, right? It's just a simple symbol that helps you interact with it. Hoffman argues our reality is kind of like that. The creator even tried to explain this to a physics major in another deleted reply. The student was arguing that we use tools to see reality better, but the creator used conscious realism to suggest that even our best tools are just part of the interface. They don't give us a secret password to some objective reality out there. They just give us a more detailed look at the icons on our screen. So this brings us to the most critical point: the wild contrast between what gets upvoted and what gets deleted.
Let's look at this side by side, and you'll see exactly what kind of conversation the platform encourages and what kind it shuts down.
So, on the left, you've got this low-effort, recycled slogan. Totally fine, gets to stay. But on the right, a genuine attempt to understand. The creator isn't even fighting back here. He's literally asking, hey, can you explain what I got wrong so I can understand your point of view? And that invitation to have a real conversation was removed.
And here we go again. On the left, a drive-by insult, just a list of labels. That comment is still there. On the right, the creator's deleted reply, where he calmly points out that a list of labels isn't an actual argument. One of these encourages thoughtless dismissal, the other encourages actual engagement. Can you guess which one got the boot? Look, this isn't just a story about one silly meme on one corner of the internet. This whole incident is like a perfect little snapshot of a much bigger problem with how we talk to each other online and the real cost of this kind of moderation. What we saw play out is an environment that rewards the simplest, loudest slogans and actively silences any nuanced attempts to actually understand each other. When a platform lets accusations fly freely but deletes the calm explanations, it's not just moderating a conversation, it's destroying any chance for people to actually learn from one another. So this whole thing leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? Because it wasn't just a meme that was censored here, it was a whole philosophical perspective, an idea that challenges our most basic assumptions about what's real. And it forces you to ask, in this online world that's built for quick reactions and easy dunks, how many other challenging truths are being filtered out before we even get a chance to see them?